Hey guys, welcome back. It's Grimreaper at you for another video for Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully you're doing well and hopefully you're looking after yourselves. Damn, we've got massive news to drop with you guys and it's something you do not want to miss. We have the information on today's video for this new mythical champion that's going to be available for all the players via the new clan boss. Let's get into the kit, let's talk about it, and I'll give you my personal thoughts about this. So let's go and have a look at its form. This news we dropped yesterday, and it's really nice to kind of have this. Thank you, Player, for giving us information early. So I wanted to show you the forms. I know I might have seen the forms already from this, and yeah, I wanted to kind of show this with you. So this is going to be the form 1, and then I'll show you form 2 as well, which form 2 is looking very sweet, very kind of same kind of art as well. Not my favorite, I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite, but it's kind of very sweet. It looks a bit like from that game Residential from Dead. I don't know if you guys played it. Residential 7 was like my perfect favorite. Was it 7 or 5? Really solid game when I was like a teenager anyway, in my teenage years. So let's have a look at his kit. Let's get into the juicy stuff. This is what you guys want to see. Right, so we're going to talk about form 1 and then we're going to go into form 2. So form 1 will be a force mythical, is going to be support based, so it's quite a lot going on. I will just doing this now as a disclaimer. I am a dyslexic, so if I get this a bit wrong, I apologize in advance. And I also do have some facts as well. So on E1, it will attack all enemies, destroys the max target, destroys each target's max HP by 3%, stacks up to 30. Not bad. Also increases the duration of one random debuff on all enemies by 1 turn. This effect cannot be resisted if the enemies are under Negmo Hansa. I can't pronounce that, but under the debuff. We're going to call it debuff for today because I don't know. Or we just call it Negmo as the debuffs. If you see me saying Neko, you don't want one about this. It does damage increase by 20%. That'd be interesting. Probably don't need to book it, depending, because it is support base. Places a True Fear debuff on all enemies by 1 turn. Also has a 50% decrease attack on all enemies for 2 turns. This effect cannot be resisted if enemies are under Negmo stack. So that will be kind of interesting. We'll also get a extra turn as well, which is pretty nice. Extra turn mechanics is always nice. True Fear will be very needed against one of the stages against the Chimera boss. So that'll be interesting. And then on the third one, we have got a Ignore Stone Skin ability here, which is going to be interesting, which I'll get into in a second. Attacks all enemies, removes any Stone Skin buffs and places them with True Fear. And then block debuffs will also be replaced with block buffs. Also replaces any buffs positive effect stats. So again, this is very similar to the Cursed City boss, where he'll take a increased defense, and he will put a defense down, and that's where it kind of happens. He also will steal a turn meter, 5% of each turn meter of each buff covered, which is converted into a debuff by a skill. Also decreases the target meter of all enemies by 30, so he's gonna get 5 on top of that, 20 as well. Pretty nice ability. Does get ignore resistance, which can be a bit of a problem with high resistance builds, etc. It is worth noticing this will be good for the Chimera boss, but however, with the Stone Skin, which is not very clear in this kit, it's still a 50% chance. This has been confirmed in the content creator chat, so this is not a 100% chance to remove Stone Skin. He's not going to be like that good for that, unfortunately, which is a bit of a disappointment for P versus P sides. And obviously he has the Metamorph, which you guys are already aware about. Then he has a wrongful the passive ability, which would be quite interesting. He has a accuracy, an accuracy aura. It has an aura of HP for 35. It's kind of a bit low for mythical. I think most legendaries are 35 already, which is kind of interesting. However, it's still quite nice. So whenever an enemy is killed, places a Necmo stack on them. On all enemies, Necmo stack cannot be resisted or blocked. Necmo stack can also be removed by reviving dead allies. This effect does not work against bosses or the minions, and this is multiple on the team. So I guess not too sure what it means if there's multiple champions on the team. Maybe you could still pull this guy via shards as well. I hope not. I hope he's just kind of locked off, exclusive like Carnage is as well. At the start and at the end of this champion's turn, instantly activates any stacks on all enemies, which is kind of interesting. To be honest, it's kind of very interesting. I'm not too sure what to think about. I like this form a bit more, if I'm honest, as a P versus P player. And there's definitely a couple of things to kind of work on for sure. So attack one enemy, places an extra hit if the target is under a Necmo stack. Also places a block revive debuff if this attack kills enemy. It's HP base. So again, it kind of depends on his multipliers and how this is going to work. So I will swap the HP. So we're going to go into A2 then, which will be on a 3-turn cooldown. Attack all enemies, deals double damage to enemies. Those accuracy is lower than his champion's accuracy, and then ignores 50% of each enemy's defense with those accuracy 2 or higher than his champion. So ignore 50% defense, honestly, is very, very good. And I think if you're going to build him as a damage dealer, that is probably the way to go. And I think if I'm going to build him right now, looking at his kit, for P versus P content, I'm going to build him more as a damage dealer than a champion overall, because he's going to be very susceptible to sheep in his first form, and his second form is not so bad. And also that'd be good against lockout, right? Like Catrixia, Yumiko, Warlords, where the lockout is first form, he flips forms, and then he's a damage dealer throughout of this. So then he does a HP swap with the enemy. This target, if this target is a boss, fully restore this champion's max HP. Nice, as a bit like Marishka, and then fully heals this champion instantly. Each time this champion is used, increases this champion's ignore defense by 10, whilst their ult form will stack up to 50%. It grants an extra turn as well. So there's an extra turn in mechanics. So you will get into his A2 a lot more, which is on a 3-turn cooldown. That's on a 4-turn cooldown. It's a very solid kit on the second side. The first side is kind of lacking. Truth is, not very strong in P versus P. 50% ignore stone skin makes me kind of worried about that. He's susceptible to lockout champions. He's a good affinity for Catrixie as well, so that kind of goes against him for P versus P. And I do want mythicals where they are very good for P versus P, right? So when this champion dies, he reflects damage 50% back to the fatal hit to the attacker, including any surplus damage. Whenever a enemy is killed, places a Necmo stack on all enemies. Necmo stacks cannot be resisted or blocked. Necmo stacks can only be removed by reviving dead allies, and this effect does not apply against bosses and minions. Then he has active as well, where this champion is about to get killed by a fatal hit. Attempts that hit and instantly places a revive on death buff on them for 1 turn before the damage is taken. Is on this champion. That is very, very cool, right? That is very, very solid. Okay, so for me right now, I am excited about this champion. He's HP base. He's going to have good survivability being HP base. I think right now he's looking like a damage dealer for me when it comes to P versus P content. And I think from the second form, the first form, he's definitely more looking as a chimera kind of mechanics going on. So overall, I have to test him and see his multipliers. Normally, ignoring 50% target defense is going to be good. A stone skin will still be a problem for him, so you'll still need to take champions like Marius, etc., with him to kind of help him with that. So it will be kind of interesting to kind of see that overall. I guess that is it for today's videos. I will be dropping my shard video, and disclaimer, I did get my first champion unity on my account, which is amazing. Thank you so much, Playroom, for that. Let me know down in the comments about this guy's kit. Are you looking forward to getting this mythical? It's always nice to get another free champion, right? Even when it takes a while to claim them. And it will be a fragment as well, so you can save that for like a champion chase as well, which will be 1,000 points. Or you can save it for which is 4 sacred shards, by the way, if you get epics. Or you can save this for C vs C, which would be 40,000 points on the personal rewards. That's just one thing to take into consideration. Now, before we go and before we end the video for today, It is worth noting if you just want to use them as a damage dealer, which again, we need to see more testing, etc. before we can make these decisions. I'd probably bulk the second form first, and then if I wanted him as a debuff champion, I'd probably do book out the first form first, depending if you wanted to do wanted him just for the new clan boss, which I think would be very good there, or if you just want him as a damage dealer to use in P vs P, I guess. That's it from me today. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully you enjoy this. Again, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.